Before this video starts, this isn't technically an ASMR video, as this is, well, obviously you can see Minecraft on the screen, but this is more of just literally me rambling with anything that comes to mind, and also my unorganized thoughts. Alright, new world. I'm in the snow again. You know what? At least this is manageable. I'm not in the ice. But yeah, now that I'm here, it should be fine. So funny thing is I'm kind of stuck here. Like across our like makeshift winter break or whatever it is. I'm actually still stuck here the whole time. So that could be a blessing or a curse. I'm not too sure. So it completely depends on if my roommate goes home. Why are you not? Okay. It completely depends on if my roommate goes home or not. I'm hoping he does, so I'll be able to go back to recording, like at least semi-consistently, or as consistent as I get. But I'm trying to figure out ways I can upload without, like, I guess, completely skipping out on my school. Because yeah, I know, like, it's kind of obvious. A lot of people are like, oh, just give up on the channel for a little bit. We can wait until you come back. But the thing is, like, in my mind, I don't want to give up. The reason I always think that is because, you guys don't really see it, but I do. Whenever I'm just chilling and then I decide I want to check up on the channel and I see people thanking me for the work I've done, like how I'm not calling anybody out and I won't put up any like images of anything, like of anybody saying this, like, because I don't want to put their business out there. But there are some people who are struggling, like, a lot, and the content I put out, it helps a lot of people. And I guess just seeing the fact that the work I do, the things that I say, the effort I put into this, like, seeing how it actually makes an impact on some people, just, it makes it really worth it, It makes me really happy as well. Because it's like, it makes me feel like I'm able to put in so much work. Like, granted, it's not as much work as other people are doing. Like, there are other people who are, like, quite literally fixing everybody's issues. But the reason I say that is because even with how, like, minuscule my work is, like, even though it's not, like, fixing world hunger or anything, it's still fixing, like, one of the major issues, which is, like, the lack of mental health. Like, because all across the world, people struggle with their own things. Like, it's not like any specific area is doing perfect. It's not like any specific part of the world is, like, absolutely perfect. There's always going to be some type of, like, issues going on under the, like, behind the scenes and stuff. And being able to, I guess, put in something, being a factor, helping something change, like that means a lot to me. Being able to actually find any way to make change, make the world any better in any way, it helps a lot. So whenever I'm told, like, I can just wait, I can just come back when I'm ready, and then I'm done with everything, basically, like, makes me always think back to the whole thing about people still struggling, and, like, if I quit, what happens to those who stick around, What happens to the people who stick around waiting for my next upload so they can get a little bit of support? Then what? Like, these are the things I think about whenever I want to take a break from the channel, you know, whenever I want to relax. I still think of those people, and like, for those people who are watching, and if you are, I want to let you know that even though, like, I have a lot of problems going on, I know that you have a lot of problems going on. Like, I'm aware to know that my life isn't the only one going on around here. I know some people are struggling around here. I'm not the only one with issues. It's nothing in here? Oh, okay. Like, I know I'm not the only one that has an issue going on with their life. I'm not the only one struggling. And I see you guys struggling, okay? And I'm here and I'm doing what I can to help. And that's my whole purpose of being here. My whole purpose of being here is to help you. Like, I want to keep doing this. Like, unfortunately, since I can't really become a therapist the way I wanted to. I came to college mainly so I could be a therapist, so I could keep helping out people just like I am right now. But unfortunately, the whole, I guess, industry is completely dying. It's being merged with the medical field, so now if you're struggling with any type of mental health issues, they send you to a physical doctor and just say you'll be fine. It's rough, you know. And the whole thing that's going on with America, where everything is going wrong, you know, it makes it a lot harder. And I know some people are taking this a lot harder than I am, because, like, I have a few friends that are, like, of course, Mexican, and the way they're being treated is not fair at all. And even sometimes the way I'm being treated isn't fair at all. You know, I mean, it is stereotypical that, you know, or what you see on TV and everything, you know, a certain race will act a certain way, and you're never proven that they can act the same as everyone else. So whenever I, you know, a black man, am walking around with, you know, black nails or anything, with oversized pants or anything, wearing any type of tech wear, any type of alternate clothing, anything like that, you know, it's not taken the same way as you'd hope. I'm often looked like, I guess, I'm an outcast. Whenever I'm around black people, I'm seen as an outcast. Whenever I'm around anybody else, for that fact, I'm seen when quiet. I'm seen very differently. And that's something I don't really like. It makes me feel like I'm wrong. Like, it makes me feel like I don't belong here. Like, I don't belong wearing what I'm wearing. Like, normally I'm really good with wearing clothing to help me blend in and stuff, but sometimes I just don't care, you know? Sometimes I just say, I don't care what they think, though. They can think whatever they want. I just want to dress how I want to dress. I don't want to dress how everyone else wants me to dress. You know? And the whole argument between black isn't the real color or whatever, and I still say black's my favorite color because, I mean, I would severely argue it is it is one of the best, if not the best color to wear, because it just goes with everything. Hey, Creeper. It literally goes with everything, and I'm not even kidding. Like, wearing black shirt with any type of pants or anything, it'll still go together. Black always goes good with anything. And so far, I literally haven't been proven wrong. And I've worn some crazy things. I quite literally just haven't been proven wrong once. And that's why I'm still so in love with the color black. Where did I put my crafting table? So like... I gotta wait till it becomes nighttime, because I want to deal with anything right now. Alright, let's get off that topic, because that's gonna get a little too touchy. Ooh, that scared me. It's gonna get a little too touchy, and I'm not here for that. I don't know where I put my crafting table. I'm stupid. I guess I want to talk about, why I keep doing this. For example, why I keep making videos and stuff. I really like listening to you guys, It's really nice to hear what you guys actually want, because as I've said multiple times, I'm doing this all for you guys. Like, this is not so I can look back and just say, oh, I changed the world single-handedly. No. I'm here because I want to help. I want to help in the places that people don't see. Because let's be real. Not many people are gonna really recognize the work that's done here. Not many people are gonna recognize, like, this is a genuine problem going on in the world. A lot of people are just gonna see, another guy just choosing to voice act. Well, the thing is, I've actually wanted to do voice acting for a long time now. Uh-oh. Is he coming? Ow. Damn. That was loud. That scared me. That was loud. I had to turn my volume down. Why is it at 80? 60 is fine. But, and it's a broken bow. I do this because I like helping a lot, It's like it's a weird subject, I guess, because it's not like I can just be like, oh yeah, there's a simple answer to this. There's never a simple answer to anything. Like, in general, I'm just here to try and help, do whatever I can, especially with the whole issue, because like I do this because I've realized that even whenever I was struggling through any type of issues, I was always going on YouTube or online looking for any type of support. And then I'd realize that people are struggling more than me, and I'd assume that I'm just overreacting or something. So then I go ahead and just stay quiet and say I'm perfectly fine, because, like, well, it's like if I were to say, oh, I'm thirsty, and then somebody next to me is, like, literally dehydrated and dying of thirst. It just makes me feel like I'm ungrateful. So, I guess that's kind of why. Like, why I decided to start doing these. Make sure to hydrate, by the way. Tell me, did you drink water? And did you eat? And no, Monster Energy does not count as water. Even though that's technically my water, it does not count. I don't want somebody to go through the same thing where, they're basically told, oh, you're over... What the What the hell was that? Oh, it's a drowned. It's my mod. Oh my... I thought they added a new thing into Minecraft. I was like, what the is that? I'm just gonna kill it. That's a lot more mobs than I thought. But I am glad to be able to keep doing this. It makes me really happy to be able to help as much as I am right now. You know, being able to be here for the people who are sitting in the background and trying to suffer alone in order to not inconvenience anybody. And I know you guys have been doing that. And I know because I've done it before. In fact, I'm kind of doing it right now, to be honest. Like, for example, I want to put this into perspective. A lot of the comedians, you know, the guys who are literally known for making other people laugh, a lot of them are tending to struggle through any type of mental health issues such as depression, ADHD. I don't know if that would be technically classified as an issue, because me personally, I have ADHD and I love it. Like, sometimes it gets over the top where I'm sitting in a quiet room and I get cracked out on ADHD and I start doing the most unnecessary things. But back to my main topic. Most of the people who are literally, like, their entire job is to make you laugh, a lot of those people are struggling through mental health. So what do you think voice actors that cover those topics really are struggling through? I mean, it's kind of just written in stone there, right? It's almost like ironic in a way, isn't it? That the people who are struggling through the most choose to hide it in order to be strong for everybody else. And I think that's really honorable in a way, because even though you need help, you choose to help others over getting help for yourself. And I guess that's something I've tried to live by, you know. In my past, I've wronged a lot of people, because personally, I've never been someone to care to try and help others in the past, because, like, it always felt like I was fighting in order to earn a place anywhere. Like, even with my family, it felt like I was always fighting in order to get the respect and attention that I wanted. And, like, I kind of just don't want people to fight in order to feel loved. Like, that's kind of what I try to do with my videos sometimes. Like, of course I do love, when you guys recommend I do some type of vampire or supernatural being audio, because it allows me to, I guess, how do I say this? Be, like, less creative in a way. Because when I do create these audios of, like, full-on comfort, they're just off the top of my head. Most of the things that I wish were said to me when I was younger, like, they just come out and I kind of just say them. But I know some people, like, prefer specific things, which is why I interact with my community a lot. I look for your guys' input, because your guys' input matters the most, because I'm trying to help you. So, for example, if you guys don't communicate with me, I have no idea what you guys want or need. So then, at that rate, I'm literally just doing audios and scripts of things that I wish I could have heard. And then at a certain point, it stops becoming I'm doing this for you guys, and it turned into I'm doing this for myself because I never got this when I was younger. So that's why I try and do a lot of, I guess, why I try and post a lot of, like, questions, looking for recommendations, any type of scripts you guys would want specifically, because it's not about me. This is about you. Like, this channel was never built off of just me. It was, I guess, to an extent, it was, because to an extent, it was built off of me, because, you know, my passion for wanting to my passion for wanting to voice act, you know, it drove me pretty far, you know. wanting to make, I think that's Pax now. My passion for wanting to make voice acting, like, I guess, interactive with everyone. Trying to make voice acting fun in a way. And making it interactive where it didn't feel like I was just, like, you know, filling a script, filling a role. It made me want to actually feel like I'm interacting with, like, people who actually need it. So I'm not just voice acting like a character or something. I'm actually voice acting and being able to help. You know, I have wanted to obviously do voice acting where whenever you're ready, I did want to do voice acting where, you know, I'd be filling a role for like a script or something. But, like, since one, I'm in college, so that's gonna be hard. And two, it takes a lot, and I mean a lot of work in order to find people who would just openly accept you, hear you out, like give you auditioning and stuff like that. It feels daunting to an extent. So I guess that's part of the reason why I haven't really tried super hard to voice act like that. Oh, I'm drowning in snow. I guess that's one of the reasons I haven't really tried super hard to look in that way. But I still am very interested in that. This is why I hate the snow biome. The packed snow is the worst. And how am I still in a snow biome? I've been traveling so far. But again, this channel is entirely for you guys, and it's still built off of, I guess, a bit of the things I wanted to do. Hopefully, I'd be able to start doing voice acting, like, professionally, because that would be really nice, and that practically make my dream come true. And also, I just feel like I've always been told that my voice is unique in a way. You know, it's pretty comforting as long as I'm not threatening your life. But I've been told that it's comforting because of, I guess, just how it sounds. And I've wanted to take advantage of that and find any way to help people who actually need it. So that's originally why I started, because I realized, well, maybe my voice would be able to help people, since I've been told all the time, like, hey, it might be able to help people go to sleep or help people with anything going on in their life. So I decided to just keep going with that, and eventually I ended up here with almost 1,500 of you guys waiting for my next upload, just waiting to hear from me again. And it's really motivating because, you know, every time I'm scrolling on YouTube and I stumble across an ASMR video, and of course I listen to ASMR. I don't know if it's like a weird thing to do, and personally I don't care if it's weird, because, like, if you get the right type of video, it is so good to have in the background. For example, I'm pretty sure about 70% of people are going to have this in the background. 30% are going to be listening for the first, like, 10 minutes. But yeah, it's so relaxing. And I've wanted to do ASMR style videos, but I've never really been interested in the whole tapping thing. Like, I know there's some things that sound good, but I've mostly been focused on my voice. Because, one, I don't really want to show what I look like, mainly. It's not like it's a big issue for me. It's just, I don't, want my face to be out in front of, like, over 1,000 people who are subscribed to me. Because, like, at a certain point, that's daunting, because all you know me is by my voice and my Roblox avatar. Which, mind you, I know what's going on with the whole Roblox situation, but personally, I don't care. I'm not partaking in that whole situation because I'm sitting here playing a bee swarm simulator. I think I'm fine. But um and it also kind of has ruined my like want to keep playing Roblox. Like it's a game I've loved for years. Like my names across the years have been crazy, you know. I'm glad that, you know, I went through that whole experience because I mean it's something that I'm never gonna forget. Just for one, the experience, you know. As a kid, I was able to live like freely in a way. Like I didn't have crazy restrictions on me. I was able to be a dumbass kid without like too many restrictions. He kept me focused on the main tasks that I needed. For example, like keeping my grades up, making sure I didn't get arrested for being a dumbass. You know, typical things that I still follow even in college. But you know, those are just the things that I was taught as a kid, and those are the things I will just never forget because it's kind of hardwired into me. So, since he allowed me to be a dumbass kid, I was able to have like dumbass thoughts, dumbass imagination, but I was never spoiled, and I'm glad that my dad kept me that way. So, I'm still thankful for, well, I'm able to show how much appreciation I have for each and every one of you guys who come back so often. And I actually want to change topics real quickly and talk about one of my videos specifically. So one of my videos specifically is focused on self-harm. I actually made this video. You mind? I made this video a long time ago. I think it's been about a year now, maybe over a year. I made that video, and even to this day, I keep getting more and more comments on my YouTube studio. I keep seeing more and more comments about how I've saved people, how they're struggling, how they really need to hear this, and it just makes me so happy that being able to do this, like, although I'm not really religious at all. I think by my obsession with vampires, it should be obvious. But since I'm not religious, I just still want to say that this has been a blessing. Just being able to make these videos for you guys, being able to help, you know. I'm not getting paid to do this, by the way. I'm literally not getting paid to do any of these things. I'm doing this from my poor little wallet, keeping my PC up to date if I need to get any new parts to make sure my PC runs just fine so I can keep recording these audios, buying new microphones just in case they break. These are all coming out of my wallet. And as I've said before, I'm a college student. So I don't have income coming in. I just have outcome. So everything's literally just coming from my pocket to keep this alive. And I'm glad I'm doing... Oh my goodness. I'm glad I'm doing pretty well so far, keeping this alive. And still, just as I've said before, I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon. This and becoming an actual voice actor for like a game or anything has been my passion for a long time. I've, like, again, from when I first was told that, hey, you know, your voice sounds nice, like, you'd be able to, actually, one of the funniest compliments I remember, I was playing with one of my friends in Evade. Yeah, I know. Don't look at me like that. I was playing with one of my friends in Evade, and I was chatting with them in game chat because I didn't have Discord. Well, I did have Discord, but it wasn't working. Typically chatting with each other. How was that cow just sitting there? A few people came up and were just chilling with me. And so we were just chatting. And the funniest thing is somebody said, "Could you read me a bedtime story?" And this was like at 12 o'clock in the morning. They're like, "Can you read me a bedtime story?" And this was when I was like really into reading. Like I would love to go back to being really into reading again, but it'd take a while since like this was more of a time when not everything was completely online. Where well, I wasn't completely online. I think a lot of people were still online at this point. I had books that I got from my grandfather, and they were sitting like on my desk. So I grabbed one and I started reading, and eventually, like everybody stopped talking, and just every round, because every round's 3 minutes, they would all come back to me, and I'd be sitting in the corner just reading a book, and everybody would like very quietly whisper to each other, but most of them were just listening, and I kind of just sat there for like, I think it was 30 minutes. Like, no joke, it was like 30 minutes. I was just sitting there reading to everybody. And eventually, when I stopped and then went back to actually playing, like, everybody was just chilling, chatting with me. Like, your voice is really nice. I enjoyed that. And that was one of the things that really just, like, I guess set it off for me. Like, wow, I could really just keep doing this. This is nice. And because I mean, and I might get emotional from this, but as a kid, I never really liked talking because, as a kid, I just kind of was always in an environment where, the grown-ups were talking, so I had to be quiet. I didn't have any reason to talk, so I always just kind of shut up and let my dad talk, like to his friends or to anybody that he was talking to. So I was always just kind of, I guess, in the background, you know? I was never the direct center of attention. I was always just sitting there letting my dad talk for me. And even when I got to school, even when I started school, I was always doing the same thing because I just kind of had the habit of I'm not supposed to be talking. So as a kid, like I rarely talked, and like as I grew up, I got to school and I realized everybody was talking like so much. I tried talking more, and over time I just realized that like I kept being told to shut up because I'm talking too much. Then eventually I just stopped talking completely. I practically became a mute kid, and I just barely talk at all. And I'd just be sitting to myself. And like as I've grown older, I've grown from inner dialogue to like actually talking to myself. But when I was younger, it was strictly an inner dialogue. Like I would go days, weeks, nearly months without saying a single word. All just because like I was always told to shut up no matter what. Like even if I said something and it was right, I was told to shut up even if I was right. I was never really given a thank you for talking. And I was always given a thank you for like being quiet and not saying anything. So eventually I just assumed that I just shouldn't be talking anymore. I should always just shut up and let everybody else talk before me. And then I'd be perfectly fine. And with that mindset, it took a toll on me because it made me think like, wow, I don't even know why I'm here. Like, I don't even know why I'm here with family, why I'm here with anybody if I'm just going to be told to shut up again. So eventually I just full on stopped talking. I stopped going out. I stopped trying to hang out with family, with friends, anybody. And I was just completely quiet. I would never talk. I'd never go out. I was just in my room at all times. I'd step out, come eat, play with Mara for a little bit. Well, at the time, it was Briley, which was my first dog. Quick summary of him. He was actually with the family like around the time I was born. So he was born on January 26th. I was born, I was born on July 18th, 2007. And, he was there with me basically my whole life. So as I grew up from a kid, literally every one of my experiences until middle school, I was with Briley at all times. Whenever I'd be upset, I didn't have to talk because I could just go to him, like give him a hug and everything. And, I'd just give him a hug. I wouldn't have to say anything to him. He'd just be there and basically practically understand me, even if I had nothing to say. So I'd give him a hug. Sometimes I'd get out of bed and sleep next to his crate on the cold floor, just so I could feel like I was around somebody who understood me, even if I didn't speak. So I was always around him, and then eventually age caught up to him, and he had to be put down. And the main thing I remember from it is that when my dad took him away to be put down, I remember my dad kind of coming home and not saying a single word except here, and he gave me his leash and he just went back to his normal days, normal life. I started stalking my dad to see if maybe he was just hiding that he was actually in pain, but as I kept stalking him, I realized he genuinely didn't seem to care. But I definitely cared. Because it felt like a part of me died. Because, like, you got to see this through my eyes. As a kid, like a literal baby, before I even took my first steps, he was there with me. He was there every single time I'd come home from school. Every time I'd wake up, go into the living room. I'd see him eating, and my dad on the couch waiting to get to work. I'd be there playing with him every day. I'd wake up, I'd be there with him. And then just the next day I wake up and the house is quiet. It's no sound of his long ass nails on the tile floor. It's just dead silence. Like he's not there at the door. He's not there to hang out with me after I've had a long day. It's just, I no longer had a reason, like, because he was my main reason to be, like, excited to come home. Like, if I had a rough day, I could just kind of go home and be there with him, you know? Like, I'd be upset, I'd be sad, anything like that. I could just go home and just give him a hug, and he'd just sit there, just letting me hug him. But then the next day, I'd just come home and go to his crate, and he just wouldn't be there. It'd literally just be me alone to my thoughts until eventually my dad came back. And I'm just there. Just there, completely alone. And hurt, to be honest. That's the best way I can put it. I'm just hurt. I'm scared, I'm tired, I'm alone. Just waiting. Waiting endlessly for him to come back. But later down the line, we got Amara, and her twin sister Kaya. They both came from the same litter pack. I don't know what you would call it, and they were actually put up to be put down. And my dad actually decided to go to the house and save them. So we got them, and they were so small. You know, they're so small, like their entire body practically being able to be palmed. Like if they curled up in a little ball and I grabbed them with my hand, I could just palm them completely and just take them with me. They were so small and so cute. But unfortunately, we weren't told that Kaya was really sick. So we found out way too late that she was sick. And one night, we were just at the table when we knew she was sick and we were trying to help her. We were trying to feed her medicine, and I remember holding her and she completely just vomited all over me. I was holding her, whispering, telling her it was going to be okay, and she completely threw up everywhere all over me. Like not a drop hit the floor, hit the table, nothing. It hit me. I'm so sorry if you're eating. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to violate your ears like that. But and then, like, my dad, later that night, he said, well, I think I have to go put her down because she's living in too much pain. And I said, all right. And she gave me the collar, and he gave me the collar, and Amara was just kind of staring at me as my dad walked out the door with her. And and I kind of just had to sit there, and I nearly cried. I was so close to crying because personally I haven't really cried like heavily in a very long time. So I think the last 3 times I remember is when I was like a toddler and I was like 5 or 6 years old. So yeah, the first time I remember crying was 5 or 6 years old. The second time I remember actually crying was this year in February, because I was really expecting someone on Valentine's Day, and I cleared my whole schedule. I was so excited to see her, and then I just missed out. Like, she got busy, and I was really upset. And it still hurts still now, because I pushed so many things out of the way in order to clear up Valentine's Day, in order to see her, and then she was just busy. And the whole day I just kind of sat in my room. I didn't even play video games or anything. I literally just sat in my room doing nothing. And at a certain point, I just kind of got tired. And then she texted me saying how she was nearby. And then she texted an excuse after that. Well, now I know it was an excuse because I spoke to her about it, but technically I figured out a few months back, but she texted me an excuse, and I found myself driving out to one of the parks I used to be at during my childhood, and I remember driving out there into the parking lot, and I technically still have this 2002 Chevy Avalanche, and I drove her out there. I named her Yuki for reasons I'd rather not explain. And I took her out there and I sat in her trunk. And I remember just sitting there for a while, responding to her texts. And I remember just absolutely sobbing, like wholeheartedly. Because, I mean, yeah, I was really upset about her not being able to make it after clearing my whole schedule, doing everything I could just to see her. But it was also because of the fact that I stored so many years of just pain and suffering. I just stored that all in because I was thinking, well, what do I look like crying, you know? So I kind of just couldn't hold it all in anymore. And I remember crying. I remember crying so violently. Like it was a different experience because like when you don't cry for so long, it's not like a normal type of cry where you can cry for a little bit and feel better immediately. It's one of those cries where you just cry and cry, and then you think you get better, and your body stops crying for a moment. And then when your body stops crying, you just go silent. Hey, buddy. Like, you just go silent, and you're just kind of sitting there in silence. Your whole body feels empty. Your mind is blank. Like, you're literally not thinking of anything. Your entire mind is completely blank. You're just sitting there in silence. And then, out of nowhere, you just start crying so violently again. And you're just sitting there crying and crying and crying. And I remember that going on for at least an hour of me just crying so violently where it felt like my whole body was like leaning into the cry. No matter how much I fought it, my whole body was just like, I'm not going to stop crying no matter what you try and tell me to do. I just kept going and going until eventually it got manageable and I stopped. And when I stopped, I kind of just existed. I haven't gotten another chance to meet her since then. And in the future so far, I don't see any chance of meeting her anytime soon. And every time I look back on the whole situation, I always try and beat myself up over this, or the fact that I cried over a girl. But then I think and I remind myself, like, this is who I wanted as my wife. This is who I wanted to be with for my entire life. Like, we were able to bond over so many things together. But, like, I guess just wasn't meant to be at this time. And then, the overthinking started. Well, if it's not meant to be this time, what makes you think it's going to be meant to be any other time? And then everything just kind of stacked on more and more. And the pain grew and grew until finally I just went silent once more. Same way I used to be, where I just stopped talking. And it really ate me up inside. And ever since that day, I haven't really been thinking of relationships the same way anymore. I've always felt like no matter what I do, I'm gonna be played again. I kind of just suffer in a way. Because I really, really did love her. And I still do love her, obviously. But it gets hard to a point. Because I feel like with how many things, how many chances we've had in the past, and they're all wasted. Like, because the thing is, now I'm in college, she's working and busy. Like, we don't have the same chances anymore. Like, we just physically don't have the same chances anymore. Because I'm always either I'm busy with college, or she's always busy with work, and we never have free time. Well, never have enough free time to be able to, meet up, hang out. It's just not meant to be at this time. So I suppose I'm just gonna have to wait and wait and wait until finally we get an actual chance together. I just realized I haven't built a house. I've been here for a long time. But, oh well. Actually, because I'm trying to find a good area to go into a cave, but I can't find a good area or anything. And if you're still here, because I'm an hour into recording, what I want you to do... Actually, I'm going to pause. What I want you to do... I want you to go ahead, stand up, go into the kitchen, grab a glass of water, and any snack you can find. I don't care if it's like candy, like a goldfish or any other mini snack. You can even eat a whole pizza if you want. There is no bounds to whatever you want to eat. Grab at least 1 or 2 cups of water and any type of food you choose, and go back to bed. Just lay in bed. Even though I'm pretty sure this video is going to end really soon because I have no idea what to do. My roommate's going to come back and he's going to be loud. But I want you to go ahead, take your food, take your water, lay down in bed, and just relax. Okay? I want you to take time for yourself because unfortunately we live in a world where you're no longer allowed any help anymore. We're stuck in a world where it's either you choose yourself or you just die. And unfortunately, that's just how the world works. And I'm making it my life's work in order to reverse that, where I can help as many people as possible. Okay, well, they're revving engines outside again. Speaking of which, actually, for a long time, I've wanted to, I guess, how do I say this without it sounding dark? Like, in my life, right, I've never really planned on making it past 16 or 18. When I was younger, I was always dealing with the same Let's relax on the cursing, because I want to be as calm as possible. And if I start cursing, then I'm gonna get myself worked up. I'm pretty careful about how I know my body's gonna react, so I'm trying to watch it. I've been dealing with the same things as I am. Like, the same things I'm dealing with now, I have been for a very, very long time. Now, the reason I point that out is because as a kid, I was dealing with the same things as I am right now. So that means even if I'm, upset, I don't get a choice of asking anyone for help. I just have to deal with it. And likewise, as a kid, if I was dealing with something, I just had to deal with it myself, right? Now, as a kid, and I was thinking of this for about 2 years, so basically since I was like 14, 13, I always thought to myself, the instant I'm able to drive, I'm going to no longer be here. I'm going to make an attempt at no longer being here. The reason I've always thought that way is because I would always keep myself from crying. And I always think to myself, if this is what I'm struggling with now, I don't want to grow up. And newsflash, I grew up and I'm still dealing with the same things. And they slowly get worse and worse. Because when I was being treated as a kid, I was able to just deal with these things and be like, it's fine. At least I don't have to work or go to college or have to interact with people. But now I have to do all those things at the same time. So it just makes everything significantly worse. But when I had those thoughts of, if I have to deal with this when I'm older, I don't want to grow up. So I wanted to take my life at 16. And at 16, when I eventually turned 16, I don't want to be sexist in a way, but I feel like female birthdays are treated differently than guy birthdays. Because, for example, at least in my mindset, and I've noticed this subconsciously as well, if I were to have a child and it was a girl, I would absolutely go all out for her birthday. Every year, I'd go all out. But for a guy, I wouldn't really go all out because I'd want him to be really humble. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why that's socially normal, but that's literally what I just caught myself thinking. It wasn't a full on, I want to be I want to be, I guess, mainly focus on my daughter or something like that. Yeah, I didn't want it to be sexist, but it was just how my brain was hardwired for that time. I was like, whoa, I want to make sure she feels precious, make sure she feels treasured every single day of her life. I want to make her feel loved every single day of her life. But then with the guy, I was thinking, yeah, I want to make him feel loved every day of his life, but I also don't want him to become crazy. I don't want him to go ahead and start doing things I wouldn't where he goes out, and because I don't want to spoil him, and then he goes out and starts doing drugs or anything like that. And then when he comes back and he demands a few $100s for more drugs, I don't want to raise him that way. I don't want him to be spoiled and think that he can just do that just because he wants to. I want him to be raised with discipline. And I just didn't think of it being the same way with a girl, because I was thinking, well, if I want to treat her like a princess, the only way I've been known to treat someone like a woman as a princess is by spoiling her. I'm getting a little too political here. So I think as the sun sets and I finally found a new village, I'm gonna end it off here. Next video, well, after I check with you guys in the comments, make sure you guys are doing okay. I'm gonna go ahead and probably create a house around here somewhere. And when I create a new house, also tell me if you guys like the shaders pack. If not, I'll get rid of it. But I'm probably gonna build a house somewhere around here. Definitely not up here. I'm gonna build it across there. I'm pretty decent with building houses and such, but I want to make sure I get your guys' input, see if you guys actually want me to make this a channel or like a series or something. Just let me know if there's anything I could do specifically to help you all. Okay? Alright, thank you guys. I love you all. And take it easy.